Don't start on your new commander deck until you watch this video. I'm going to help you with that Jeskai Spellslinger deck you've been craving to build. And it all starts with Elsha, Threefold Master. You might not know this about me, but my 3-color identity is definitely Jeskai. My 2-color, probably Dimir, but I thrive in the blue-red-white. And now you can too. So we've got Jin Monk with Trample and Prowess. Whenever deals combat damage to a player, create monk creature tokens with Prowess. Now, those tokens originally come from Monastery Mentor, and this is just about my favorite way to close out any 60-card format. I just wish it was better. But in Commander, it can get us there. And so, we're playing Monastery Mentor. Let's talk about the main plan of the deck, build you up a ton of tokens, and win that way. But if things go sideways, we always have a backup plan here. We're going to turn this deck into a High Tide Storm deck in 3 colors. It's going to be awesome. Last year we got Jace Reawakened. You can't play it till your 4th turn of the game, but you get to start plotting cards from your hand. And that means we've got layaway till we want to do a big storm turn and get to play a bunch of spells for free. And there is the off chance that we'll get to -6 Jace and have just an absolutely crazy turn. One of the ways we can stop our opponents and dig a little deeper is Narset Parter of Veils. She's a part of the Jeskai. It fits here. And of course, another good way to lock out our opponents is the turn we go to win, we're going to play Teferi Time Raveler and make it so they can't cast instants and sorceries anymore. We have a really small creature package in this deck. We've got Monastery Mentor because he makes monks. And we are here doing monk magic after all. Oh, maybe I forgot. The whole deck list is in my Mox field. Check it out in the comments. Playing Veyran, Voice of Duality. We got Magecraft for casting instants and sorceries, and that's double triggers for our monks, baby. We're also playing Displacer Kitten because we have a lot of permanents we actually want to blink and get back and untap. And we're putting creatures onto the battlefield at will, so we might as well play Purphoros, God of the Forge. That's it for creatures. So the deck's also full of cantrips, especially the really cool ones like Ancestral Vision and Gitaxian Probe and an original foil Ponder. Well, at least that's what's going to be in my deck. But you can play whatever version of Ponder you want. Get those orbs. We're also going to play Windfall. Now, I don't have a Slimer's Feast. I have a retro foil Love Your LGS copy, but this one's very cool too. Echo Vion's Time Twister. It's just a lot more fair, but we're still going to use it. And I mentioned we were a Storm deck, so we have the blue High Tide Storm classics, like Mind's Desire. This just gives us a bunch more free spells after we do a bunch of storming to untap our islands, but more about that in a second. Now, there is a world where we attack with Elsha, make a bunch of prowess tokens, and just need to get over the finish line one more time. That's what Final Fortune is for. Take an extra turn with all our monk tokens, have another stormy turn, pump them all up and win the game. I love this card. Also for our token plan, we've got Warleader's Call. It's damage as they come in, just like Purphoros, and it buffs all our tokens as well. We've got Smothering Tithe. Who doesn't want to play against that, right? And we're playing one of my favorite blue-red cards of all time, Storm the Vault. And if you have 5 or more artifacts, you get to flip it over. It becomes the Vault of Katlakan, but it's really just better Tolarian Academy. So the other part of the deck that, plays into our strategy anyways, is a High Tide Storm deck. The way these decks work is you want to cast High Tide 1 or 2 or 3 times. We have Underworld Breach, by the way, so that all of the islands on the battlefield tap for like 2 or 3 or 4 mana. And then we want to play spells that untap our islands and make tons and tons and tons of mana. Then we hit them with some sort of payoff and win the game. So we've got cards like Snap, which are just untap 2 lands. But if our islands are tapping for, 3 or 4 mana each, Snap becomes a whole lot cooler. We've got Frantic Search to do some digging. It untaps 3 lands. We've got Turnabout. This is going to untap our lands as well. We're also playing one of my favorite vintage cards, Paradoxical Outcome. We're going to pick up all our artifacts, draw a bunch of cards, and do it all over again. Now, this one's the expensive card in the deck for sure, but Candelabra of Tawnos, you pay X, you untap X land. And remember, we're playing Displacer Kitten, so this thing's going to get blinked and untapped over and over again. In Antiquities, we didn't have tap artifacts. We had mono artifacts, and that just meant tap them to do it. Classic blue storm card, Dramatic Reversal here. And to keep digging with all of our untapping and blinking, we've got Shurikai Genesis Engine. We're running Skull Clamp to put those pilots to good use as well. The good times keep rolling with Whirlwind of Thought, featuring Narset, great Jeskai card here. And just in case everyone's tired at the end, we can perk up the party, giving everyone a giant blue margarita with Aetherflux Reservoir and paying 50 life a bunch of times. Now, when you look at the mana base in Moxfield, you'll see there's a lot of cards that say island on them, or fetch islands. But most important is we actually have 12 islands. High Tide works best with 4 to 6 islands on the battlefield, so you actually have to find them. This doesn't work with just cards that tap for blue. You gotta have islands, so you might as well play cool ones. How about some Assassin's Creed Pirate Islands? Now, in case you were wondering, yes, this is a bracket 4 deck. There's a bunch of game changers in here. There's a bunch of free spells, but I've actively made it not bracket 5. This is definitely not a CDH deck yet. I would go a lot leaner. I'd have way more interaction, but we are here to get Elsha in for damage, make some monks, pump them up, and get to bashing again. Hope this helps.